Hello students, so here today we are going to discuss about the tannin containing drugs, and in your syllabus you have two drugs, that is catechu and pterocarpus in the tannins. And before we move further, I would like to mention that tannins are those substances which produces tanning with on animal skin. Okay, so they, when they react with animal skin, they generally produce darker color. So that is why the name is tannin. So they are astringent in nature. And if we talk about catechu, your first drug, there are two types of catechu, pale catechu and black catechu, which is commonly you must be knowing as katha. Okay, so we will be studying both the drugs, pale catechu, black catechu, and after that we will be studying the third drug, which is the anti-diabetic drug, that is pterocarpus. So now we will start with pale catechu, which is commonly known as gambier. Okay, and the biological source of gambier, it is commonly known as gambier, that is why I will be using the term gambier. It is basically a dried aqueous extract produced from the leaves and young twigs of Uncaria gambier. It is Uncaria or Uncaria gambier belonging to the family Rubiaceae. So, the name of the family is Rubiaceae. Gambier or pale catechu is the dried aqueous extract. We will prepare a aqueous extract, water extract, out of what? We will take the young leaves and the twigs of the plant of Uncaria gambier, and then we will extract it. That is our main drug, and the family is Rubiaceae. Now, generally Rubiaceae family is a drug which is very much rich in the tannins. Okay. The geographical source of Uncaria gambier, that it was earlier called as Malaya. Okay, we now know is at the Malaysia as well as the Indonesia. So, the islands of Malaysia and Indonesia like Sumatra, Borneo as well as Singapore, in these places we find the cultivation and production of pale catechu, and the preferred height is 150 meter. Okay. So, now for cultivation of the gambier, normally the propagation is done by seeds. Once the seeds are sown in the nursery, they raise to a seedling, and when they are 9 months old, they are transplanted into the fields about 9 meters apart. And the leaves and the young shoots, they start collecting it after it is matured in the second year of the growth. Okay. After that, every year the collection of the leaves and the twigs, twigs means the small stem part of the tree. Okay. So, those twigs and leaves are collected after that every year, and the plant gives us sufficient leaves and twigs for up to 20 years. So, one plant from the second year to the 20th year, it keeps on giving us the drug. Okay. The maximum yield is there in the 18th year of its production. Now, we have to understand how the extraction is done. We saw that the aqueous extract is used as a drug. So, here what is done, that the drug, this picture is showing the leaves and the twigs of the Uncaria gambier. So, the drug is taken and it is mixed with boiling water and boiled for 3 hours. Now, after boiling for 3 hours, it is filtered and again the mark is further washed with water. Now, we combine all the filtrates, and these filtrates, they are concentrated in a cauldron. Cauldron is a vessel made up of wood. Okay, it is made up of wooden vessel. In that we keep on concentrating. Concentrating means we are evaporating the water and increasing the thickness or the viscosity of this extract. And after that, a yellow green paste is formed, which is again transferred to a wooden tub, and there it is allowed to dry. So, a wooden tub or a tray is taken, on that we will put this yellow green paste and it starts drying. Once it dries, okay, we can cut it into small cubes, okay, using a wooden knife. So, here we are not using any metallic substance, okay, I will just show you the picture. So, here you can see how the cubes are cut from the pale catechu. Okay. So, this is how it is made. We are simply boiling it for 3 hours. After that, we are filtering it in a cauldron, a wooden tub. There we are concentrating, transferring it to a wooden tray and cutting with a wooden knife into cubes. The morphology of this is basically it is a dull yellowish brown colored externally, and internally it has a pale buff color. Okay. So, it has a pale, you can say more, I can say it is like a pinkish color, as you can see in the picture, pale pinkish color. If you break it inside, it is slightly brownish to buff color. It is odorless in nature, and if we taste it, it is bitter initially and later on it has a astringent taste. Astringent means like you must have eaten pineapple. So, you have a very tingling sensation when we eat pineapple, that is the astringent taste. So, it has a bitter and astringent taste which is later followed by a sweet taste. So, it is applied on the betel nut also, many people apply katha on the betel nut leaf and consume it. So, it produces a astringent effect in the mouth. So, astringent is basically it is precipitating the proteins. So, in the mouth there are many proteins which like bacteria and microorganisms which can be precipitated or broken down or killed due to the astringent effect. And the shape in which it is available in market is generally strips, flakes or coarse powder, and pale catechu it generally is available in the cubes or rectangular blocks of 2 to 4 centimeter in length. Now, the chemical constituent. So, the main chemical constituent in Gambier is specifically a pseudotannin, which is 7 to 30% of pseudotannin catechin. What is a pseudotannin? A pseudotannin is that tannin which does not give the gold beaters test. So, when we treat it with animal hide and after that we treat it with ferrous sulphate, it will not give a brown black color, that is the gold beater test. True tannins, they give the positive gold beater test, like we have studied in case of Ashoka and Arjuna, Baheda, Harde, they contain the true tannins, they give the positive gold beaters test. Okay. So, what is the gold beaters test? With the hide, animal hide, if we are treating our tannin solution and after that we are washing it and again treating it with a ferrous sulphate or ferric chloride solution, it gives a brown black coloration. Here pseudotannin, they do not give the brown black coloration, and here the main chemical constituent is that pseudotannin which is commonly known as catechin. Okay. Then it also contains 22 to 55% of phlobatannin catechuanic acid. Okay. Phlobatannins are those tannins which are true tannins, but they are also known as the condensed tannins. Means when we do the dry distillation of this phlobatannin, it will decompose, it will not hydrolyze, but it will decompose to give us the phlobatannins. So, this phlobatannin is catechuanic acid. Then it also contains catechu red, a compound, and a very important differentiating character, that is Gambier fluorescein, because of which the name is also given Gambier. So, this pale catechu, it contains Gambier fluorescein as well as it contains quercetin, and an indole alkaloid has been identified named Gambier tannin. So, all these are present in the Gambier catechin or pale catechu. The chemical tests here are important because these are the differentiating character from pale catechu and black catechu. So, here the first test is Gambier fluorescein test. As I told you, Gambier fluorescein is the additive ingredient which is not there in the black catechu. Okay, we will study in the next drug. So, this Gambier fluorescein, what we do is we add sodium hydroxide and petroleum ether to it, and it produces a green fluorescence. Okay. It produces a green fluorescence in the petroleum ether layer. So, there is a green fluorescence in the petroleum ether layer. This is the Gambier fluorescein. Then it gives positive vanillin hydrochloric acid, means when we are adding the vanillin hydrochloride reagent to our tannin extract, it produces pink to red coloration. It gives positive matchstick test, means when we dip a matchstick in this tannin solution, we dry it and again dip it in any acid solution, HCl specifically, and then again we heat it, the matchstick changes to a pink red coloration. That is the matchstick test. And the third test is the chlorophyll test, in which we prepare a chloroform extract, and after that we evaporate it in a china dish. Green color is produced due to the presence of chlorophyll. Now, this test is positive in pale catechu, because in biological source we saw that the leaves were used for the extraction. Okay, in black catechu leaves are not used. So, this pale catechu will give a positive chlorophyll test, while black catechu will not. And the main uses are that pale catechu is used as a local astringent, as I already told, it produces precipitation. Okay. Then it is used in the treatment of diarrhea, again because it acts as a general astringent. So, it precipitates protein everywhere, and somewhere the bacteria which are responsible for the diarrhea, they are killed by this pale catechu. Other than that, in other industries it is used in dyeing and tanning, etc. So, this is about the pale catechu, and now we move to the next drug, which is the black catechu or black katha, sometimes it is also known as kach. Okay. The biological source is here. Now, in this drug please keep on remembering the pale catechu, okay, so that you can differentiate between the two characters. So, pale catechu is the dried aqueous extract prepared from the heartwood of Acacia catechu. Heartwood means the dead wood in the trunk of a tree. So, the heartwood is used here for the preparing the aqueous extract, and the biological name is Acacia catechu, and the family is totally different, Leguminosae. So, here the source is completely different. In pale catechu it was Anchuria gambhir belonging to the family Rubiaceae. Here it is Acacia catechu belonging to the family Leguminosae, and there we use the twigs and the leaves, here we are using the heartwood. So, this is the difference. Now, the geographical source, this Acacia catechu, it is found in India from Punjab to Assam till an altitude of 300 meter, means ascending from 0 to 300 meter, it is found in Punjab to Assam, and it is also very common and grows easily in other states like MP, Maharashtra, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Bihar and Tamil Nadu. Now, for the collection and preparation, again what is done, that the tree is cut, the trunk is taken out, and small pieces or chips are made of the heartwood. Okay. The tree normally has a heartwood and a sapwood. The living cells are the sapwood, outer trunk part, and the inner trunk is the heartwood. So, the sapwood is used for lighting the fire, and heartwood is used for extracting the tannins. Okay. So, what is done, that this heartwood is made into small chips, and then it is boiled in water in large earthen pots. In pale catechu we used wooden pots, here we are using earthen pots, and after that a decoction is made. Decoction is what? When we keep on boiling the liquid and we reduce the volume of the liquid, that is a decoction. So, decoction prepared is then strained or filtered, and further it is boiled in a iron pot with continuous stirring. So, here we are using a iron vessel for continuous stirring, there we used a wooden vessel. Okay. So, there the color remained pale, here due to iron the reaction takes place with the tannins and the color becomes darker and darker. Okay. So, after we are doing the concentration, a syrupy mass is prepared and it is then spread in shallow wooden trays, okay, and kept overnight to dry. So, it dries, and the next morning what is done, that further if the concentration is required, if it is viscous, further it is concentrated in a iron vessel, and generally the color becomes very dark brown in nature. Now, the morphology. So, this catechu, it is generally black or brownish black in color, odorless like pale catechu, astringent and a subsequently sweet taste. So, it has a astringent and a sweet taste. The size here is irregular. There we saw that pale catechu is generally found in rectangular blocks or cubes. Here it is irregular. Okay. It is slightly brittle in nature, because of which it has a irregular shape. The outer surface is firm and brittle, and when broken we will see that inside there are small cavities, small perforations, are dots are seen inside the surface of this black catechu. So, that is a differentiating character of the black catechu from the pale catechu. Okay. And this tree is generally a medium sized tree with many thorns on it. You must have seen acacia species, generally babool is a acacia species. So, they normally have many thorns on it. Now, the chemical constituent, again try to compare with pale catechu. Here also catechin is present, which is a pseudotannin, which we saw. What is a pseudotannin? It is a tannin which does not give the gold bitter test. Then it also contains phlobatannin, that is catechuanic acid, but here the concentration of both is slightly lesser compared to the pale catechu. The catechuanic acid and catechin is present in higher concentration in pale catechu, because here we have added isomers which are present like apicatechin, acacatechin, then the racemic mixture of acacatechin, that is DL. We have L-acacatechin and D-isoacacatechin. So, all these are present, various isomers are present of the catechin in the black catechu. Then it also contains 20 to 30% of a gummy matter, giving it a dark color, catechin red, which was again present in pale catechu, quercetin and quercetin. So, these are the various ingredients. Now, here what is not present is Gambier fluorescein, which is differentiating pale catechu from black catechu. So, here we will see what are the chemical tests which help us in differentiating between pale catechu and black catechu. So, we discussed about vanillin and matchstick test in the black catechu. Vanillin and hydrochloride gives us red color, matchstick also gives us red color. Both are positive for all the tannins. Okay. Now, what are the differentiating tests? One more thing here is that it will not give, it will give a negative, I can say Gambier fluorescein test, okay, negative chlorophyll test. This will be negative in case of black catechu. And what are the tests which this will be giving positive and pale will be giving negative? That is, we will take lime water and to that we will add the aqueous extract of black catechu. It produces a brown black color which turns red on standing. The second test is with ferric ammonium sulphate, dilute solution of black catechu produces a green color and addition of sodium hydroxide turns it into a purple color. So, these two tests, that is lime water test and ferric ammonium sulphate test, are positive for black catechu, but negative for pale catechu. Then the uses are same. Okay. Normally this the black catechu, it is also known as kutch, and it is used as a medicine in medicinal ingredients as an astringent. It also cures trouble of the mouth, diseases of the throat and diarrhea, and it also increases appetite. Now, here I would like to mention that sometimes kutch word is also used when we are doing the processing and when the extraction is done and we have got the aqueous extract. Sometimes we see that there are two layers which are formed. One is the water soluble layer and one is the water insoluble layer. Okay. So, commonly in many books it is mentioned that the insoluble part is also known as the kutch. So, generally that kutch is not having the medicinal, the water insoluble part is not having the medicinal use, but the water soluble part that we will separate and we will use as a drug, that is a main katha or the black catechu, which is having activeness or it is more active in nature as an astringent drug. So, that should be used. Okay. So, that is a different, because it is mentioned in few books and not mentioned in few. I just made it a point that you should understand that kutch term sometimes may be used to the non-medicinal ingredient also. So, better always write black catechu than kutch, okay, or you can write katha also as a synonym. And now we move to the third drug, which is the pterocarpus. Okay. Now, pterocarpus, it is again a tannin containing drug, a very well known drug, and some of its variety also known as the lal chandan. You know what is sandalwood, and there is a red sandalwood, it is also used in religious things as well as a medicinal ingredient, and the common name for that is pterocarpus. Okay. Here the P is silent, it is pterocarpus. The synonyms are, it is known as Bijasal, Indian Kino tree or Malabar Kino. So, these are the names, Bijasal, Indian Kino tree or Malabar Kino, and the biological source is that it consists of the dried juices obtained by making vertical incisions to the stem bark of the plant Pterocarpus marsupium. Okay. The biological name is Pterocarpus marsupium, and the main part which is used are the, it is basically a dried juice which is obtained by making cuts. Means if this is the stem, there are cuts which are made in the stem, and when a juice oozes out of that stem, that juice is dried by through the vertical incisions, the juice which is coming out, it is dried and it is used as a drug. The name is Pterocarpus marsupium, pronounced with me, Pterocarpus marsupium, belonging to the family Leguminosae. It belongs to the family Leguminosae, and the geographical distribution is that it is mainly found in the hilly regions of Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar and Orissa. So, it is indigenous to India, it is found in India very commonly, and in many states you can find this Pterocarpus. The morphological characters, as you can see in the picture, it is a bright red color substance, okay, generally found in small pieces or granules, okay, and it is ruby red in color, odorless in odor. It has a astringent taste, means again the pineapple like taste, means the tickling taste on the tongue. Then the shape generally it occurs as grains. This is a magnified picture of the grains. So, you will find angular grains which are present. The size is around, it varies from 3 to 5 to 10 mm size of the granule. So, we have different sizes of the granules which are visually seen. The solubility, basically it is partly soluble in water, okay, about 80 to 90%, and completely soluble in alcohol. So, it is having high solubility in alcohol and low solubility in water. Okay. So, generally tannins, they have more solubility in water compared to alcohol, but Pterocarpus in particular has more solubility in alcohol compared to water. And the extra feature is that the pieces of Kino, they are angular, glistening, means very shining, transparent and breaking with a vitreous fracture. Vitreous fracture means like wax, when we are breaking, it does not break in a very you can say it has a very even way, okay, very straight and even way it breaks. Same way it has a very vitreous, I can say glassy type of fracture is seen here. The chemical constituent, so the main chemical constituent is quinotannic acid. Okay. So, it is a tannic acid derivative or a tannin derivative commonly known as quinotannic acid, and this quinotannic acid, it is a glucosidal tannin. Glucosidal tannin means it is having a glycoside, it is having a glycone and a aglycone. So, it is a glycoside in nature, where the aglycone is basically quinotannic acid. And then the another ingredient which is present is quino red, like catechin red in the catechu. Here we have quino red, and quino red, it is generally an anhydride of a substance named quinoin. Okay. So, quino red is a anhydride of quinoin. What is quinoin? Quinoin is a insoluble phlobaphene. Phlobaphene means what? When the certain tannins, they are heated, they decompose into substances named phlobaphene. So, this is in general a derivative of the condensed tannin, that is quinoin, and this quinoin, when it is converted to an anhydride, it is known as quino red. Okay. And then we have the pyrocatechin or the catechol, which is present. You can see the structure of catechol. So, it is a phenolic compound with two phenolic groups. Okay. So, it is pyrocatechin which is present. Then we have the resins and gallic acid which are present. Along with this, it also contains a oxidase enzyme. So, we have a oxidase enzyme which is present in this catechin. So, we have quinotannic acid, quinored, pyrocatechin, resins, gallic acid. Along with quinotannic acid, we know it is a glucosidyl tannin, and quinored, it is an anhydride of quinoin, and quinoin is a insoluble flovafin. Along with it, it contains an enzyme named oxidase. The chemical tests which are done for flovafin, for pterocarpus, are basically when we take the solution of a drug and to it we add ferrous sulphate. Okay, we are having ferrous sulphate, it produces a green color. So, green color is produced when we add ferrous sulphate to our solution. The second test is that with any alkali like ammonia or potassium hydroxide, it produces violet color, and with any acid the precipitates are formed. So, these are the three main tests for the pterocarpus. Ferrous sulphate, it gives green color, with KOH it gives the violet color, and with mineral acid it produces precipitates. And now we come to the uses of pterocarpus. Generally, it is a very powerful astringent, just like catechu. It has uses similar to catechu, like in the treatment of diarrhea, dysentery. Okay, it is used in diarrhea, dysentery, passive hemorrhage, if internally there is some kind of gradual bleeding due to any kind of internal damage. Okay, that is passive hemorrhage. Then toothache in mouth if there is any kind of problem, and in diabetes. So, it has been very well studied in diabetes, and it has been found that it is used as a hypoglycemic agent. What is a hypoglycemic agent? A hypoglycemic agent is an agent which reduces the blood sugar level. So, it reduces the blood sugar level to a great extent, because of which it is used as a hypoglycemic agent or a anti-diabetic agent. And in what forms it has been reported? It has been reported as a aqueous infusion of the wood. It has been used as an extract of the heartwood to have the hypoglycemic effect. So, it has effect on the GIT, in the tooth problems, as well as in the treatment of diabetes. It is also used in the dyeing industry, in the tanning industry, and in the printing industry. So, these are the other industries, that is dyeing in the textile industry, tanning in the leather industry, and in the printing industry. So, in this class we studied about pterocarpus. Okay, we studied about pterocarpus. The biological source of pterocarpus was mainly that it is the dried juice which is obtained by making vertical incisions in the stem bark of pterocarpus marsupium, and the main chemical constituent was basically the quinotannic acid. And in before that we studied about the two catechus, that was pale catechu and black catechu. So, pale catechu is basically the extract obtained from the twigs and young leaves of Uncaria gambir belonging to the family Rubiaceae. We saw how it is processed, and there the wooden vessel is produced, because of which the color remains pale. While the second drug which we studied was the Acacia catechu, which is produced by the we do the extraction with the dried aqueous extract of heartwood of the tree Acacia catechu, but because we are processing using a iron vessel, it takes a black color. The main difference between black catechu and pale catechu is that pale catechu contains gambier fluorescein, because of which it gives the positive gambier fluorescein test. So, this was about the three drugs of tannins, pale catechu, black catechu, as well as pterocarpus. Thank you very much for listening to the class.